Hello. So I was really hoping this video would be a different and happy announcement video, but we unfortunately are going through our third early pregnancy loss. So I'm having my third miscarriage, and this is the third one in just about a year. So it was almost a year ago that we had our first one. And I just wanted to share for the main purpose, if anybody else is going through something like this, just sharing our experience, documenting our experience. This is part of our journey now, and it's something where, as sucky as it is, because it just plain sucks, there's no other way around it, but as sucky as it is, this is our story, and I know that there will be a happy ending to it. I'm still very hopeful of that. I have 2 other videos up sort of just discussing our last couple of miscarriages with those updates. So if you're interested in just hearing about that and what it has looked like for us so far, you can go watch those. I'm not gonna talk too much about those in this video, but basically this loss was another super early loss. I didn't even get to hit 6 weeks yet. I would have been 6 weeks on Monday, and I miscarried on Sunday. So, or potentially sooner than that, but I started bleeding on Sunday. So basically this time just felt different. It felt like it was time. It was the right one. And we're in our new house now. Just, have been focusing on my physical, mental, emotional health over the last year, especially over the last 6 months, getting into our routines, just feeling really good. And it just felt different. Like I felt pregnant for the few weeks that we knew. I found out super early, so my cycles are a little bit shorter, just naturally, regularly. They're like between 22 and 23 days typically. So I found out, I think, before I even turned 4 weeks, just because that for me was normal. Overall, I felt pretty good. I was super fatigued. My boobs hurt really bad. They were super sore and tender. No sickness or nausea or anything like that. But I definitely just was not really into food, didn't have my typical appetite, was super hungry, but just had no desire to eat, which I knew something was up. So I took a test. It was blatantly positive, the first test I took. So there was no questioning that. And then I put a call into my doctor that same day. With my history, she sent me in right away to test HCG and progesterone. So I went in that first day that I found out for blood work. And then I went in again 48 hours after, which basically what they're looking for is just that number HCG to double every 48 to 72 hours-ish in those early stages. I think actually for the full first trimester. So it doubled. I went in a total of like 4 times in the last couple of weeks just to keep testing HCG, and progesterone looked good, but it kept doubling. Everything looked great. Last Wednesday was my last blood test. I got my results back last Thursday. Everything was trending upward as it should be. So with pregnancy after loss, it comes with a lot of feelings. Of course, you're excited because you're pregnant again, but you're also super stressed, super anxious, super nervous that something's gonna happen. You're dealing with past trauma, some PTSD. I would say overall though, I was very hopeful and very positive and very mindful every single day that I was pregnant. And it was something that Josh was really good to remind me of. Over the last 6 months, we both have really leaned into meditation and more mindfulness, more so than ever before. We've always been about that, but just really leaning into that, and it's helped just my mental health so much. So I've been continuing that, and things were hard. There were some really hard days, but overall, every single day was just in another opportunity to practice that gratitude. So on Friday of last week, so 2 days after I got that last blood work, I started spotting. And spotting during pregnancy, light spotting, can be super normal. It was just Light brown spotting, didn't seem too concerned. Of course, like a little bit concerned just with my history, but like I called my doctor right away and they were like, it can be a totally normal thing. Keep an eye on it. If it progresses at all, call us back. So on Sunday, I just woke up and knew I wasn't pregnant anymore. And it sounds weird to say that, but I just had this gut feeling, like I could just tell I wasn't pregnant anymore and my boobs weren't sore. I kind of just felt normal and also didn't play too much into that, but was just super anxious all morning. Around like midday, I started bleeding and I was like, this is not good, but this is it. Like I knew in my heart that it was over. And it was so hard. But we called the on-call nurse since it was a Sunday. My office just had somebody on call and the poor thing, I was like hysterically crying. I don't even know if she understood what I was saying, but she was like, listen, we don't have a crystal ball. We don't know what's happening right now or what's going to happen as a result of this. Bleeding can still be normal during the first trimester. So what I will do is I will put an order in for a progesterone supplement or a suppository. And if you want to start that tonight, you can. And then tomorrow morning, first thing, we will call you once the office opens. We'll schedule an ultrasound and have you come in for some blood work. So they did everything they possibly could do, which I love my new office. So after the second miscarriage, I actually sought out a midwife practice and they're a little bit more holistic. They're much more supportive than my last OB office, who I just felt like was not really listening to my concerns at all. Wouldn't do any further testing after my second one, and I really had to push for like anything from them. And I know that there are definitely certain methods and just regulations that they go by, just because miscarriage is super common and can happen a lot, and it can be just a random thing. But I just knew, even after the first one, I knew something was going on. So I went to this new office. She did a bunch of blood work previous to this recent miscarriage. Everything looked great. And she did everything she could have possibly had done. So she referred us over to a fertility clinic. So we had scheduled an appointment with the Center for Advanced Reproductive Services at UConn here in Connecticut, which they're supposed to be amazing. So back in June I called, they were like, we're months out, so we'll schedule you for August 11th. So it was supposed to be this week. Last week they called and I was obviously pregnant, and I was like, I'm pregnant, I don't think I need this appointment anymore, you can cancel it. And the girl on the phone, she's like, okay, I'll make a note for someone to cancel it. And I don't think anybody ever did, because I kept getting like text reminders, like your appointment's coming up, all this stuff. And I was planning on calling Monday to cancel. And then obviously all this stuff happened. So by some miracle, we still have our appointment. It's not this Thursday. The doctor needed to reschedule it to Monday, but it's Monday of next week. So I was really glad that we didn't have to wait another 2 or 3 months to get back into the fertility clinic. So we have that Monday to look forward to. I think the most frustrating part about all of this for me is, and I know this is common, but we had a normal, healthy pregnancy, got pregnant the first time of trying with Kai, and we're having all these issues now, and it's almost just like, what the heck? But that, and also like my midwife here, my new midwife did so much blood work. She's done like vitamin D levels, just thyroid, progesterone, testosterone, every AMH, everything she could have possibly tested, she did. We did an ultrasound, everything looked normal. So it's like, I almost wish there was just like something that they could pinpoint and figure out why this is happening. But I know that a lot of infertility is often unexplained, and it's defeating at times, but it's also in a way giving me hope too, knowing that so far everything is normal and I'm healthy. So with the clinic on Monday, we just have like a Zoom meeting with the doctor for an hour first, and he basically will review all of our information, our charts, our history. He'll sort of come up with like a game plan of things that he wants to test further, both with me and with Josh. Hopefully get some answers. But we plan on keeping you guys updated and being very open about this process, just because we know going through it, like you turn to people who have been through it too. And obviously everybody's in a different situation, but there are definitely things that we know may help for you guys to just listen in on or be aware of or be educated on. And if that's the purpose of why maybe we're going through this, I'm the type of person who tries to find the silver linings, and I look for answers, I guess, but also like whenever I'm struggling, I ask, you know, how can I help someone else through this? Or what can I do to make someone else's experience a little bit easier? So hopefully in sharing our story and our journey, we can provide that to somebody out there. So that's that. If you made it this far, thank you for listening and just being here, supporting us. We have so many messages to still go through, and we appreciate every single one of you guys for following our journey for so long. We're still hopeful. We know that we'll figure it out, and someday we will get our rainbow baby in some way. That's all I have to say for now. Thank you guys for watching, and stay tuned for some more updates here soon.